This is Healing Honey, and today we'll be going with the flow. We'll be talking about wealth consciousness. We'll be just going with the flow today. We're about water today, so we're gonna go with the flow and see what comes up. So, when we talk about wealth consciousness, we're talking about the connection between your spirit and the universe, the continuous connection that we have within us that connects everything, that connects the unseen, that connects your true being. So within this consciousness, it's awareness. And if you're aware of yourself, not just your human body, but if you're aware of yourself, you're able to tap into this consciousness. It's not just about how much knowledge you know. It's not just about how many books you can read, how many classes you can take, how many videos you can watch, but it's about you awakening a deeper aspect of yourself, a deeper part of yourself, going deeper, deeper than your brain can go, because your brain and your mind, or should I say your brain and your consciousness, is two different things. Your brain is human. Your consciousness is not. Your consciousness is something that is forever expanding, as in, because you're connected to this universal energy, even though you may not feel like your consciousness is where you desire to be, or where you see other people consciousness is, doesn't matter. That you have the ability to get to this. You have the ability to raise your consciousness. You have the ability to remember. Remember that you have this infinite power within you. That you have the power to tap in within yourself. And through life, a lot of us are going to have different awakenings. I don't believe that we just have one awakening. I believe that we have multiple awakenings. And I feel that it's not a time clock on if this person know more than me, or this person is more conscious than me, because everybody have their own time. But I feel what make it so special is everybody way of awakening or remembering or realizing is different, and it's unique to that person. And I feel it's different things within life that we're going to realize about ourselves that we may not be able to explain to someone else, because it's for us to understand. But it's about you having those moments of awareness, those moments of you realizing, for example, say that you experience something in life. I'm gonna give y'all an example for me. So I want to say about 2 months ago, I was in the room doing yoga, and I was listening to this song. I forgot the name. I think it was by Beautiful Chorus. It could be You Are Enough. And um, I just start crying. Like, I just start crying. And it was one of them cries that your spirit, it wasn't a bad cry. It was a gratitude cry. It was a realization cry, a happy cry, because I realized that every experience, every interaction, every moment of my life, from childhood leading up to now, has prepared me to be who I am now, who I am becoming. And I had to realize that it's power in that. This is not something that is new. This is something that I've been doing. It's moments in the past when I was a child, I would talk to people and they would tell me they're going through depression. They would tell me that they're thinking about doing things to themselves. And me being who I am internally, being able to help them, even if I didn't know them like that, just off of me being able to feel. And when I say feel, I mean I have the ability to be able to pick up on people's emotions. I have the ability to be able to pick up on people's pain. So if you're walking around and you're dealing with things emotionally, I have the ability to pick up on that. I have the ability to pick up if you're dealing with something and my heart start hurting. That's letting me know that you're dealing with a lot of emotions and you're probably going through something right now. I have the ability to pick up on people's emotions within my back if you're dealing with different things. So that being said, I had to realize in that moment that this is nothing new. I've been doing this. Everything that I experienced in childhood led me up to this moment to be who I am right now. And I had to be grateful. Be grateful because what is for you is going to be for you. And when you feel something within your soul, can no one tell you different? It's no denying it. You just know. So that being said, I had to realize I can't reject my gifts. I can't reject what I'm feeling, what I'm knowing, what I see, because at one point, at one point, because I was so sensitive to people's energy and sensitive to people's emotions, I used to not want to feel that. I used to get mad. I used to get sad. I used to cry because I was able to pick up on people's emotions, people's traumas. I could literally be standing 10 feet, 15 feet from someone. I feel them. I feel them. They could be smiling, they could be looking happy, and I feel you. And at one point, I didn't want to embrace my gifts. I didn't want to accept that I had the ability to do this because it brought me pain. Because I was picking up on other people's emotions and pains in their body. I remember one time, a couple years ago, I'm in a spiritual shop getting supplies, and it's this woman in front of me, and it's like something in my stomach just started hurting. I don't know. I think it could have been it was on my left side. I want to say pancreas or something, bladder. It was something, and when she left the store, it went away. So that being said, it was letting me know that she was dealing with something within her organs, within her stomach. She was dealing with some type of illness. She was dealing with some type of emotions. What we don't realize is the emotions that we don't process, the emotions that we don't heal through, they have the ability to get trapped within our body aura, within our body organs. So that being said, if you've dealt with a lot of anger and your heart has been broke multiple times, who's to say that you don't have resentment within yourself and within your body and that caused cancer? Who's to say? Who's to say that the kidney issue that you have is not really guilt or shame? Who's to say that it wasn't a type of emotion at first? Who's to say that all the illness and sickness are emotions first? They came from somewhere. I believe that every illness and every sickness comes from emotions first. I believe that everything is spiritual first. I also believe, yes, it could come from food we eat and how we live our life. Yes, I believe that. But initially, when it comes to certain sickness within the body, it comes from the suppression of your emotions, the suppression of energy that you have not dealt with. What we have to realize is if we're 90% or 98% of water, and water is connected to our emotions. We know that because when we're sad, we cry. When we're mad, we cry. When we're happy, we cry. So, that being said, the water in your body also helps to regulate you when it comes to using the restroom. So, that being said, if you're not processing your emotions, wouldn't that mean that it's things in your body that's not processing? The foods that you're eating, the emotions that you're having are not processing. If you're having problems going to the restroom, maybe that's connected to emotions. And you can look online. You can search these different things online. What emotion, what emotion is connected to what emotion is connected to the kidney, or what for example, guilt. What is guilt connected to in the body? What organ in the body is guilt connected to? We have to realize that our body always give us signs of what is going on with us emotionally. It would tell us these things emotionally. It would show up in our body physically, and we would think that, oh, you just dealing with something temporarily, but it's really trying to show you something bigger. So that being said, when we talk about consciousness, higher consciousness, of wealth consciousness, we're talking about realizing and knowing that it is an unseen world within a world that is weaving every inch of existence together at one time. And who's to say that in one lifetime, or in one timeline, should I say, something is happening and you're doing something different, and in this timeline, you're doing something different, because we're infinite. We could be on 13 different timelines right now and not know it. Who's to say that you don't have 12 other versions of you helping you out right now? Who's to say that, shoot, you may have one version of you that don't want to see you make it? Who's to say that? Who's to say that in one timeline you know exactly who you are? You know that you're infinite. You know that you come from this forever expanding, experiencing evolution of existence, and you're living out your reality, knowing all this about you, knowing your gifts, knowing your powers, knowing who you are, knowing that you're loved, knowing that you're light, knowing all these things. But in this timeline, you asleep right now. Or should I say, in that timeline, you're asleep and you're dreaming this right now. This thing, when we talk about consciousness, it could go deep. It could go deep as the water, and the waters go deep. The waters go real deep. So deep, holds memory. So that being said, talk about water. Water holds memory. It's spirits that's in water. We drink water. So if we drink water, And I say that we got 98% or 90% of water in our body. Who's to say that if we don't speak our intentions in the water, and if you are dealing with something health wise, you start speaking in your water and that's going in your body? Who's to say that that can't help what's happening within you? If you have water within your body and you're consuming water, and we know that our emotions are consist of water, emotions are connected to water. These things that we don't think about because we don't know, or I'm not even gonna say we don't know. Some of us may not know, but I'm gonna say we don't remember. We don't remember how important these things are and that we're one with these things. So, in remembrance, there are breadcrumbs leading you back to you. They put them in movies, they put them in shows. You may read something, you may come across a video. So recently, I just rewatched the movie Soul. If y'all haven't watched it, y'all need to go watch it. Y'all need to go watch it. And I don't want to tell the movie Soul. So I don't want to tell too much. But he had to realize that in life, it's not about you coming back here to live out your purpose, but it's about you coming back here to live. He thought that his purpose was this one thing, but his purpose the whole time was for him to come back and live. And when we talk about consciousness, that's when we realize that we're not just coming back here to do all these things they told us to do, what the rule book said, work this, do that, but to live life, not just to pay bills, not just to survive, but to live life. So that being said, it was another part in the movie. I don't want to tell too much, but it was another part in the movie, and in the movie, um, it was a lost soul, and the lost soul, um, they had to basically help the lost soul come back into its knowing. And once it came back into its knowing, the lost soul was working at a corporate job. And once it came back into its knowing, it quit. He quit and he was like, I'm quitting this. I'm free, I'm free, I'm free. When we talk about consciousness and when we talk about awakening, we talking about awakening from being asleep, awakening from being on autopilot, awakening from being in this robotic energy. We're not supposed to be robotic. Are kids robotic or are they free? We tell kids, stop doing this, stop doing that, don't do this, don't do that, but they're just being free. A kid is jumping on the couch and you tell them to get down. I'm not telling you to let your kids jump on the couch, but I'm saying kids are free all the time, but sometimes parents suppress them from being free because their parents didn't let them be free, or because they don't know how to know that kids are pure and kids are doing everything that we're supposed to be doing. From being free, from having imagination, from believing in themselves. A child believes in themselves until a parent or to someone else tell them not to, or that's weird, or stop that. A child doesn't know that something's weird or bad until someone else tells them that. So if your child is telling you they're Superman and you tell them no they're not, what did you just do? That's their imagination. And Once we get a certain age, we lose. I ain't even gonna say lose, I'm gonna say forget. We forget our imagination. We forget this free essence that we have within ourselves because we having to pay bills, because we gotta go to school, because we gotta take care of this, we gotta take care of that. We forget this free side of us. So if we pay attention to kids, they're telling us how we should be, how they have the biggest imagination. When they say they're gonna be the president, they're gonna be the president. When they say that they're gonna win the basketball game, they're gonna win the basketball game. When they say that they're gonna do something, they're gonna do it because they believe in themselves. They have the most creativity because they haven't been on this ground for too long, and they're remembering who they are and where they came from. But once a child has been on this realm for some years, they start to forget because of society, because of household, because of just being in this world feeling like nobody else is doing this or nobody else is talking about this no more. Oh, you're not telling me I could be a president anymore, huh? I'm 14 now, I can't be a president. But when I was 7, it was okay for me to be a president. So what's the difference? Now I gotta go to school. Now I gotta go to college. I gotta work a 9 to 5 till I'm 61, 71 years old. They don't teach us how to be free. They don't teach us how to be creative. They don't teach us how to get back to our child self. They teach us how to be a corporation. They teach us how to work for them because we're not working for us. So what we have to realize is we can't have too much creativity if we're in this set mind frame or doing the same thing repeatedly that's not feeding into our creativity or into our being. When we're being creative, we're tapping into this essence within ourselves that is connected to essence, that is connected to everything, that is one with us. Pay attention to how when you do certain things that you love to do, that is creative, how you zone out, how you forget the time. Why when we was young, we was doing things that we was loving, we was having fun doing, it seemed like time just, because we zoned out. We just seemed like we gotta realize that we gotta realize that in this life, like in the movie Soul, he said you don't have a one purpose. Your purpose is living. So why would you think that your purpose was just you coming here to do one thing or to live one way? I would think if we came from somewhere that's infinite, that this infinite energy will want us to expand, to grow, to be the best that we can be, to question, to explore, to journey us, to journey the world, to journey the universe. I'm gonna just say this. We're living in these human bodies, and something so little, like I would feel something so little, I would question why we have lines on our hands. What is it? What is these lines on our hands? What are they telling us? What are these lines on our hands? Why do everybody have different lines on their hands and on their feet? Questions like this, these are the type of conversations I want to have. I want to have these type of conversations. Are these lines telling us something? Our past, our present, our future, our past lives, our, our purpose, our living, who we are. I would think that this infinite energy would have gave us clues, crumbs, pieces to put to our puzzle. But it's up to us to put the pieces together. There's signs everywhere. There's signs everywhere. But it's up to us to pay attention to the signs. So, consciousness. Consciousness goes so deep. Consciousness goes so deep. So infinite. I thank y'all. I love y'all. Until next time, healing, honey, peace.